On Friday evening, the 28th of April 1916, the General Post Office, which was the building for the Provisional Government, was in flames. Together with hundreds of people who made up the Republican garrison, we left the post office by the side entrance leading to Henry Street and made our way to Moore Lane amidst constant sniper shots being fired. We rushed to Moore Lane where a barricade had been erected. We could see the burning buildings and hear the bullets of machine guns and even the sound of occasional hand grenades. As I passed the barricade, I tripped and fell behind. Immediately, a man came to my rescue and brought me back to a house number 12. When I reached the parlour of the house, one of the key members of the Provisional Government, James Connolly, was lying on a stretcher. There were 17 wounded that day, and as a nurse by profession, I spent the night taking care of them.
The Republican forces had evacuated the burning General Post Office. On that day, we left in 3 sections. I was the last to leave the building to make sure no one was left behind. When we reached Moore Street, we entered number 10, Cogan's grocery shop, and began tunnelling from one house to another in order to remain unnoticed and increase the chance of escaping the area. Ultimately, we ended up in house number 16, Plunkett's poultry shop. In that small house, we discussed what we could do. There was one moment when I saw through a shattered window 3 men carrying white flags being shot down. That was when I decided that we must surrender. Connolly agreed that risking further lives cannot be tolerated. I still remember how 58-year-old Feeney and Tom Clark openly wept at our final decision.
On Saturday, I got the orders to convey a message to the British forces. Around 12 p.m, I left the house, waving the small white flag to the military. I gave General Lowe my message on behalf of Commandant Pearse. At first, many of them believed I was a spy. Later, at around 2 p.m, I travelled to number 16 Moore Street to bring their response, the conditions of our surrender.
I saw our entrusted nurse, Elizabeth O'Farrell, was back. She passed through the doorway of number 16, bravely walking down the street. General Lowe demanded that within half an hour she must remain with myself, and the only term was an unconditional surrender. At around 3 p.m, I marched towards a barricade in my heavy military overcoat and boar-shaped hat. I handed the sword to General Lowe, and Elizabeth O'Farrell was by my side. On the footpath outside O'Byrne's shop, an old wooden bench was brought out. I stopped and signed the document to surrender.
Without speaking, Pearse grasped my hand tightly. I agreed to deliver the message to Dublin outposts. It was finally over. I watched as Pearse was taken away in a motor car by General Lowe. That was the last time I saw him.